Guitars, they're everywhere. Chances are you've already heard one today. The first commercially available solid body electric guitar was the Fender Esquire, released in early 1950. Gibson, Gretsch, and Epiphone followed with their own models. Demand exploded with the introduction of rock and roll in the mid 50s, and by the 1960s there were 20 or 30 companies which offered electric guitars. The advent of the solid body electric guitar was also a watershed moment for guitar design. Because this innovation didn't rely on a hollow acoustic body to achieve volume and tone, guitars could be any shape you could think of, and made from any material sturdy enough to withstand the tension of steel guitar strings. Different builders distinguished themselves by offering guitars in an ever-expanding array of shapes and colors to suit the taste of any guitarist. For this project, you would get the chance to design your own guitar. Make it however you like. It can reflect your culture, your hobbies, whatever your interests are. You can base your design off your favorite artist. If you're into nature, give it a more natural look. If you like cars, give it your favorite finish and add a racing stripe. It's all up to you. The possibilities are nearly limitless. For the purposes of this assignment, however, let's define what a guitar must have. A guitar must have strings, at least 6. They must rest on at least one neck with at least 20 frets. They must attach to a headstock, which holds tuning machines for each string and enough for them to rest on at the end of the fretboard. On the other end, the strings must attach to a tailpiece on the body and rest on a bridge with saddles for each string. The guitar must have a body with at least one pickup and at least 2 knobs, one for volume and one for tone. If you have more than one pickup, you must include a selector switch to change between them. The pickups must be under the strings and between the neck and the bridge. Since we are not actually building the guitar, we don't have to worry about things a luthier would have to consider, like scale length and neck width. Let's consider some different approaches to guitar design. The body. The earliest guitar body shapes echoed the look of the familiar acoustic guitar and tended to be symmetrical. That is, if you drew a line down the middle, both sides would look like mirror images of each other, with maybe a cutaway to allow access to those upper frets. This is still a very popular approach. Guitar designers quickly realized that even symmetrical designs didn't need to imitate the traditional rounded shapes of an acoustic guitar, and many new shapes quickly became iconic looks for electric guitars. Of course, asymmetrical bodies became popular as well. Many guitarists gravitated towards offset body shapes because they liked the look and feel of the guitars, and some guitar makers really pushed the envelope when it came to eye-catching new variations. The only limitation was that it had to be functional. The design shouldn't make the instrument difficult to play. The headstock. Headstocks can be just as iconic as body shapes. Consider the mustache design on a Gibson Les Paul, or the Fender Stratocaster's hockey stick look. Sometimes you can tell what guitar is being played just by seeing the silhouette of the headstock. Just remember, the design has to be functional as well as creative, and it must have one tuning machine for each string. In general, most designs have either 3 on each side, as in the Les Paul, or 6 in line like on the Fender Strat. If you can see a reason to mix that up, go for it. The headstock is also a great place for aesthetic experimentation. This is typically where the logo goes, and there are any number of ways to show off your headstock. Try matching colors to your body, having a visible grain, some binding on the side, or some ornamental inlay. The neck. As I mentioned before, the neck should have at least 20 frets for a standard scale guitar. This is the part of the guitar that actually gets played, so functionality must supersede aesthetics. However, you can add binding to the sides if you like. You can also choose a wood that best complements your design on the fretboard. Try a brighter wood like maple, or something dark and rich like rosewood or ebony. Also, no one is saying you have to have only one neck. Hardware. Here's where the final touches are made, where everything gets tied together. What color is the metal hardware? Gold, chrome, black? Does your guitar have a tremolo arm? Does it have a pickguard? What color and shape are the control knobs? The switch tip? Does your guitar have any extra features that suit your style of music? How many pickups will you use? Are they single coil, humbuckers, or a mixture? Here's where you really get to play with the details, so don't hold back.